finally got one of the Steve sunflowers in bloom. In an attempt to get the rest of my clearance perennials planted, I'm going to go do some weeding behind my greenhouse because I know I have some spaces back there that I could fill in, so I want to get it weeded and then I'll assess what, if any, plants can go back there. Here is the weed situation behind my greenhouse. And there are plants in here, so I need to dig them out so they can get some sun. And maybe some of those new perennials that I just bought will be able to fit back here to fill it out. This is my stopping point for now. I'll come back later. Out here I have my compost pile and like a wood pile, cardboard, you know, all the kind of stuff that you would need to have a wood burning fire or to make a garden bed. Anyways, there's my pile of compost. I'm going to put some in the wheelbarrow and go top those beds. I'm going to start with the one behind my greenhouse and then go over to the one that's closer to my house. I've got my wheelbarrow full of compost. I will say that this is mushroom compost that I buy from my local nursery in bulk. So now that I've got this done, I think I am going to do the rose bed and then go inside because it's getting quite a bit warmer than I expected it to out here today. I don't know why I didn't expect it to get warm, but it's warmer than I thought it was going to be in the sun. So unless the sun goes back behind the clouds, I'm going to do this rose bed real quick and then go in for now. This is that bed that had the calendula in it that was being cleaned out. I just laid the roses that I'm going to plant there in that bed. I show you this because I think today I'm going to top this off with some compost. Here's this bed done. I'll be putting my mini roses in there. Even though I put a layer of compost down on top of this bed, I still like to backfill whenever I'm planting. I like to layer my native soil and compost in the hole. Because of the composting I do as a top dressing, that's really for the future. That soil, it acts like a mulch, so it holds in moisture, and it also makes the soil fluffy and it'll seep down with the rain into our soil. But the soil that I backfill with, I like to give the roots some really easy, fluffy stuff for their roots to expand into before it hits our hard, compacted clay ground. And so that's what I mean, that the backfill soil is more for immediate, and the top compost is more for breaking down and helping the soil later on. I showed you this on my haul video, but each one of these plants looks to have at least 4 plants in it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just separate all these plants into individual roses, and then I will get them buried. I'm not sure how much footage I got of this, but I'm working on these roses still. I just saw that my camera had shut down. So I'm going to point you back at that bed and finish planting the rest of these. It has been a couple of days since I composted those areas, and I went ahead and since then placed where I want my perennials. I may not get them all buried right now because it's pretty hot out, but I at least want to get a start on it. So this is how I got them all laid out, and when it's all said and done, this is going to be mostly purple. I do have a columbine right here that blooms yellow, and then of course that hypericum has yellow blooms, and then there's a couple of random like hostas and other plants in here, but most everything in this bed is going to bloom purple. Honestly, there's not going to be a lot of contrast in bloom color, but I still hope that it turns out pretty. So kind of back there I have one of the blue salvias, and then I have one back here and one back here, and then in front of those, like these right here, I put the cat's meow nepeta in kind of like a little hedgerow, and then I have my balloon flowers down there in a couple little clusters. And honestly, I think that right there is another balloon flower, because I do have one over here somewhere. And then I have that strawberry there that I'm just going to leave. And also I have a little strawberry there. Alright, let's get these in the ground. I'm going to go grab a bucket of compost, and I'm going to start with the plants that are in the back and work my way toward the front of the bed. This is where we're at. I'm going to try to come back out here a little later and get some more of this spot done. So it's a few hours later. I've already been to the grocery store, got my groceries put away, rested, started editing a video, and the sun is finally, well, it's not set. There's definitely parts of my yard that's still plenty of sunshine left. I don't know why that came out so weird. The part of the yard I'm going to be working in is now kind of shaded, so the sun's not shining directly on it. I'm going to try to get out here and get the rest of these perennials planted. So, I got all this stuff in the ground, and I've only got those 3 plants to go. I'm getting ready to make a Lowe's run, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here And I'll either pick this back up tonight when I get back, if there's enough daylight left, or I will go ahead and try to finish it tomorrow. I swear I thought when I came out here this morning, oh, I'll get that done in no time. I'm back from Lowe's, and everything in me wants to just go in for the evening because I'm very sore. I've had a long day. I'm very tired. I'm just kind of worn out. But I've only got 3 more plants to plant to be kind of done with this bed. I've just got to plant these 3 plants and water everything in. So, even though I'm sore, and even though it's getting dark, I'm making myself get out here and just finish up a few little things. I have some sedums in this stump, and we've decided to move them because they're not really, I mean, they grow and they're spreading, but they're kind of spindly here. I mean, they're just grown in a log. They have no soil. It's literally just a decomposed log. So we're going to move these, and I think I want to put some of these with my white sage, and just to kind of fill in some of the gaps there. So I'm going to grab a few of those real quick, not all of them, just a few starts, and I'm going to spread them around these beds. I got a small pot full. We're just going to, I think I'm going to focus on putting the red and the green over here, and then the blue spruce and whatever else over here, because I think the red and the green would contrast this white sage quite well. It's getting too dark to see what I did, so I'm going to go water this in, and then I will show you in the morning what it looks like now that I've got those sedums over there. Okay, it's the next morning, and I just want to show you what all I did. So I got all these plants in. I went through, put a few little sedum starts. This one's harder to see, but there's one there. There's one there. There's one there. I did put a hens and chicks there, and I might end up putting some more around this rock here. I pulled it out when I was pulling out some of these other starts from that log, and I just replanted it there. And I also put some over here as well. And hopefully they'll just kind of fill in the gaps around these plants. I do have some more over there that I might put some in some more of these like open spots. I'm hoping it'll help cut down on weeds. Alright, this has taken much longer than I expected it to when I first started. I'm really glad that I was able to get all those perennials and roses in the ground. And as always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I do all these chores and get all these plants in the ground. I appreciate it so much. I will see you next time. Bye.